Actually, with your attitude, I don't think there was much point in you coming at all.
You were the
But
only
we're
one who
done.
came in here with an attitude after making me wait for 20 minutes, with all due respect.
Oh, I'm sure. You know, when somebody says all due respect, what that tells me is that they're going to say something that's not respectful.
All right, so what are we talking about? Like,
We're not talking about anything. You're just going around in circles.
all right, buddy. So is that it? Do you have anything else to say?
I do, but I won't.
All right. So can I leave?
I would really wish you would. This is file. Yes, this is file 25 RO 00635. Mr. Boyd, you were cited on the 30th day of January at about 11:32 in the evening, speeding northbound I-75 near Gardenia in the city of Royal Oak. The ticket was issued at 75 in a 70. You can admit responsibility, you can deny responsibility, or you can admit responsibility with an explanation. How do you wish to proceed?
I would wait, can you hear me? I would like to admit responsibility, but I feel it was kind of skewed, I want to say. Like, I shouldn't have got the ticket.
Raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
Yes.
The officer will testify first as plaintiff. Once again,
Yes, Your Honor. On the listed date and time, I was operating in a fully marked patrol vehicle, traveling northbound on I-75 near the Gardenia area in the city of Royal Oak. I observed the defendant's vehicle traveling behind me, approaching my location at a high rate of speed, activated my rear moving radar that was traveling in the same direction, and received a target speed of 95 miles an hour in the 70-mile-an-hour zone, with an audible tone to match that of the speed in which I observed. Provided a traffic stop to the vehicle, at which time I gave the defendant a break, giving him the 75 and a 70, which is a no-point infraction on the limited access roadway due to young driver and good driving record. I am radar certified. The radar was tested before and after the shift.
Mr. Boyd, it's your turn to tell the truth.
I mean, what he said is true, but the 95 happened like 5 minutes before I got pulled over. Then he got behind me when I was in between a bunch of cars,
You're
tailed me.
admitting driving 95 miles an hour.
No, I understand that, but then he tailed
Oh,
me.
answer my question. You just said you were driving 95 miles an hour,
This
5 miles before him or something.
Yeah, this was way before I got pulled over, and then he tailed me for 2 minutes. And then I sped up so he could get around me because we were in between cars. I sped up, and then he pulls me over after tailing me for minutes. So I was trying to get out of his way. Didn't mean to cause
Tell me
him.
what the joke is that you keep grinning about.
I keep what?
You've done nothing but have a grin on your face since you began to speak when I first asked you if you were admitting, denying, or admitting with an explanation. What's so funny?
I think you're mistaken.
Why do you think this is funny?
I'm, I'm not. I'm not laughing at it.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't understand.
You were driving 95 miles an hour through the streets of Royal Oak, correct?
I was on the freeway. Yes.
You were driving 95 miles an hour in the city of Royal Oak, were you not?
Yes, sir. I didn't cause no harm. I'm not smiling.
You caused no harm. You
That's
put
not-
hundreds of people's lives at risk. The streets are not your little playpen.
understand.
Our streets are not a sandbox. 95 miles an hour and you think it's cute?
You said it was funny. Or
Well, you rejected the break that the officer gave you on the street. The ticket is amended to 95 and a 70.
I accepted what he gave me, but
With
an
you
explanation.
said it shouldn't have been issued.
I said
That's
I
a
feel,
denial.
I said I feel it was a little skewed, but
And to 95 and 70.
I'm sorry. I feel like this is not right, I guess.
No, nothing is right because
I
maybe
feel like
you should just be able to do whatever you want, wherever you are.
I never said that, but I feel like you're yelling at me for nothing.
I'm not yelling at you. I haven't raised my voice.
I never smiled.
You never stopped grinning.
I'm not laughing. Understand?
You were driving 95, you get a ticket for 95. You haven't denied 95. You, in fact, admitted going 95.
Yeah, I admitted with the explanation.
And the explanation is what? Why should you drive 95 miles an hour?
My explanation wasn't fighting that. It was that it happened 3 minutes before I got pulled over after I was being tailed.
Do you think that the officer can pull you over before you commit the infraction? The pullover, the stop has to occur after the infraction.
I know it just seemed it was just weird how it happened. And I understand it was just me taking it wrong, I guess.
That district's $200.
Thank you. Fine is $200. It can be paid online or by mail. Or you can drop by the courthouse and pay it at the counter. The points are between you and the Secretary of State. We're done. We can hear you.
Okay.
And there is only one of us talking at a time instead of the echo. So you were ticketed for speeding. It was written as 5 over 30 and a 25 back on the 2nd day of January, about 9/11 in the evening. Are you admitting or denying responsibility or admitting with an explanation?
I'm admitting with an explanation.
What is your explanation, please?
I was driving from Woodward to Royal Oak, and there's a speed limit change. Like once I got to Royal Oak that I wasn't aware of, and I just don't drive around that area often. And as I was like coming to the stop, I got pulled over, and then he explained to me what happened. But it wasn't like I was like intentionally trying to drive fast or.
Well, your speed was 42 miles an hour, and you were paced by the officer, so you apparently didn't see him behind
But
you.
I believe the street not right before, but before the speed went down to what was it, 25?
Yep.
I believe it was about 40, 45, and then it changes. So
No, Main Street is not 40 miles an hour any place in the city of Royal Oak.
before you get to Main
Or
Street,
Boston.
on what we're when you
No,
make
you're not
you make
gonna
the turnaround and
confuse-
then make that right. All right.
So if you're driving 45 on Woodward and you get over on Main, okay.
And then it
The
just
speed
goes.
limit in the state of Michigan, if you're in a city, is 25 miles an hour, unless you see signs that either raise it or lower it. The default speed limit is 25. In every downtown that I'm aware of in the state, the downtown speed limits are 25. Now, the officer reduced what he cited you for from 42 down to 30. So he brought you from a 4-point ticket to a 1-point ticket. You rightly admit responsibility. But the bottom line is the idea that you didn't know the speed limit changed. You could have been driving 5 miles on Main Street and you'd still be speeding any point in any direction on Main Street. So there wasn't a recent change on the speed limit on the street you were driving. You changed streets that you were driving on. Well, you can't bring the speed limit on Woodward onto Main Street any more than you can bring the speed limit on the expressway onto the streets when you get off the expressway. You
With all
rightly
due
admit responsibility.
With all due respect, Your Honor, I feel that 42 miles per hour isn't a reckless speed to drive. And at the time, there's nobody outside. But I understand.
Mr. Johnson Reed, what does it matter what you feel?
I was
about
just
the
telling
speed
you.
limits. Your
I was just
feelings
telling you.
don't
Who am I,
matter.
I mean, who am I hurting? Who am I hurting driving 42 miles per hour? And there's nobody outside. It's cold.
In your judgment, now you've been driving a long time. I'm sure you're an excellent driver. You've been driving, my goodness, you've been driving how long? Three or
Sure, I
4
drive better.
years?
Huh?
Huh? We use huh in court?
I didn't hear what you say. I use huh in general.
Yeah, I don't doubt that at all.
I'm sure you don't. Sure you used it once you were young.
If you're going to drive on the streets that belong to the people of the state of Michigan, you're going to comply with their rules, whether you agree with them or not. That's
And I
part of
have.
no, you didn't. You were driving
Yes.
42 and a 25.
And I pulled over once I got pulled over.
Oh, that makes everything okay.
I mean,
What difference does that make, Mr.
There are people who
Reed?
don't pull over, are there not?
Oh.
Like, you seem like you just came here to argue with me. I came here to get a no point offense. Like this.
And you're going to leave with a fine and 1 point. It's $130. We're done.
Like that was what I came here with. There's no point in me coming here if that's the case.
Actually, with your attitude, I don't think there was much point in you coming at all.
You were the only
we're
one
done.
who came in here with an attitude after making me wait for 20 minutes. With all due respect.
Oh, I'm sure. You know, when somebody says all due respect, what that tells me is that they're going to say something that's not respectful.
Is
And
you leaving
just
me at
proved
20
it.
minutes disrespectful?
Mr. Johnson Reed, this is one of those periods where I really wish we didn't have Zoom, because if you were in the courtroom,
Brother, you're the
you
one
might
who
not
sent
be
me this
finding
whole
yourself
call.
leaving.
You're the one who scheduled this entire thing.
No, you're the one that called the court to schedule it.
You're the one who
didn't
sent this
schedule.
in the mail to me.
And the hearing was scheduled at your request.
All right, so what are we talking about? Like,
We're not talking about anything. You're just going around in circles.
all right, buddy. So is that it? Do you have anything else to say?
I do, but I won't.
All right. So can I leave?
I would really wish you would.
All right. And I wish I don't have to see your face again. Or your double chin.
The old days when we had people in the courtroom, at this point, the question I would ask the group was, who wants to be next? And the funny thing is, they typically behave better in the courtroom than they do on the scene.
Yeah, I apologize for that.
That's one of those things where it's always instructive to see the attitude of the people that we're sharing the road with. It would make us all be more likely to be defensive drivers if we could be aware of what some people bring to the situation.
Agreed.
Have a good one.
Thank you too.